Hi, Divine Beings of Light. I have returned from my travels, and it has been an amazing, difficult, enlightening elevation of my own consciousness and growth here on Gaia. Gaia is an earth school. Only the most strong souls, as I've said before, choose to incarnate here on Gaia for the evolution of your spirit. Before this trip, I believed I had mastered many of the lessons here on Gaia, and the divine put that to the test for me. And this is what will happen to you, divine spirit, awakened being here on your journey. There, it is about completions of cycles and growth and elevation of consciousness, therefore, elevation of the timelines. My purpose of my content is to inspire other awakened being chosen ones on their journey, to allow my experiences and trials and obstacles that I have overcome be a map, hopefully, for those that come behind me, that walk beside me. So, as I said before, when we incarnate here on Gaia, there are contracts that we establish with other spirits. For example, your parents. You choose your parents and the circumstances, which is hard sometimes to the concept to grasp, because you might be you might have incarnated in a difficult childhood, but you chose these circumstances before incarnation as a way of developing and strengthening your spirit here on Gaia. So, for example, my mother is schizophrenic, and having a mother, a parental figure that I mothered most of my life, created within me a certain strength that a child that was raised in a, say, a euphoric, utopian type of environment would not have cultivated the same skills of survival that I have within my spirit. So there's gratitude for even the trials. So I created this contract, let's say, with my mother before incarnation. And this contract was extremely close to my heart. It was time for me to close out this contract with my mother. And it was difficult for me because, and not in a way of abandoning her or not being the loving, supportive daughter that I am, but it was necessary for me to be able to create certain boundaries that protected my own life force energy, which is paramount in this new cycle, 2026. So it was time for me to close this contract out. And it was the most one, I feel emotion right now because it was one of the most difficult things that I have encountered. But I want to share this with the collective and not focus so much on my own personal experience, because there's someone in the collective that needs to know that your emotion, let's say with your loved ones or your mate, this type of deep emotion, You need to be able to create in this in this new cycle within your own life a boundary to where you are not energetically affected by the storm that can manifest within these type of close-knit relationships. You cannot allow, let's say, for example, your mate, your husband, your wife, your child, these intimate relationships. You in this season must be able to create an energetic buffer to where their storms, their own journey, their own obstacles do not become your own. Do not affect your life force energy. For example, for my mother, I could create a mansion for her to live in, servants for her. But if she is not able to embrace that blessing on her own journey, her own life force energy. So I could create the environment. I can create the servants. I can create the dream scenario for her. But if she's not willing to accept the blessing or recognize it for herself, it doesn't matter what I want for her. She also has her own journey, and she has to be able to embrace that blessing. This was a huge, huge lesson that I learned on my journey, and I want to share it with the collective. Those in your life that you love dearly, you can create whatever scenario you want for them. But within that, you need to be able to protect your own life force energy. So what was the trial for me was that I wanted to create this environment and have created this environment for my mother. But if it was not part of her journey to be able to receive this blessing, I had to be okay with that. I had to be able to surrender my dreams for her to whatever she is willing to be or capable of accepting for herself. She has her own journey. So this was the lesson that I learned on this amazing trip that I just had. So hopefully that translates to the collective. It's a long message, but again, protect your life force energy, even from those that are closest to you. You can love them, but you create contracts before you come here, before you incarnate here on Gaia. And when those contracts are ready to be complete and over with, for you to be able to elevate, then you have to recognize it and close them out. Namaste.